I'll be honest, I'm not the best pilot in GTA. So when the Oscar Guzman DLC came out, naturally I thought I'd probably skip it. But that had me thinking, would I be able to beat Oscar Guzman Flies Again without actually flying? Yes and no. Let me explain. Lucky for me, this first setup mission was easy. You just had to blow up this beam, shoot down a plane, collect the cargo, and then watch all your hard work crumble before your eyes. Now this next mission is where things get complicated. You're supposed to take this plane and land it all the way back at Mackenzie Airfield, but for this challenge we are not allowed to fly. My bright idea was, maybe I should just drive the plane all the way there. This run sucked because I got stuck on a tree. Then I stole a second plane, and I actually got pretty far. And I thought I was gonna do it until my wing clipped a fucking telephone pole and I just blew the hell up. So this mission took me a couple of days to complete. It consumed my every thought because of how incredibly tedious it was to be able to drive this plane through the streets, down mountains, around cars. It was just completely, I felt it was like completely impossible to do. But it actually was pretty simple. The hardest part were the cars though. Now, you may be thinking, if you've played this mission, what about the jets that are constantly trying to shoot you down? Well, I actually discovered that there's a mechanic in this mission that Oscar tells you about, where if you fly low to the ground, the jets will have a harder time to aim at you and shoot you down. But if you're driving the plane, they don't bother you at all. It was the strangest thing. And like I said, the hardest part was the fucking traffic. I mean, I crashed into so many cars. There's even a part at the end here where I had to get out of the plane, steal this car from someone, and then like drive it out of the way. Ugh, it was insane. But yeah, I ended up doing it. And after this, I was like, this is going to be a fucking breeze. Like, this is going to be the easiest challenge ever. And for the second part of this mission, I was able to find another workaround. Normally you're supposed to fly over the bases and bomb them, but I just drove up to the base and I shot it down, then I crashed into the invisible boatmobile. But what I realized was that you didn't even need the plane at all, so I just got in my armored car and blew up every single base, and it was pretty simple. This next setup was just a filler episode. You hack a terminal, you jump into the ocean, and then you scuba dive and collect cargo. That's pretty much it. Now this next setup is where things got really complicated, and why there's an asterisk in the title. Yep, go back and check it. I'll wait. Anyways, so I did not want to fly anything during this DLC. Unfortunately, I could not find a workaround around this, so I was like, I'm just gonna fly low to the ground and make it seem like I'm on my wheels, but later on you'll see there's no way around these helicopter missions. I'm sorry. So we're changing the title to Can You Beat Oscar Guzman Flies Again Without Flying an Airplane? Which is still pretty hard, okay? Don't give me any shit for it. Anyways, Oscar is gonna fly you to the next mission. And look, okay, just because I'm in the plane does not mean I'm flying. I got into first person just to show you the proof that it was not me in the pilot seat. So it's pretty clear that you're gonna use the helicopter you just stole, because it has a hook on the bottom, to steal shipments from the cargo ship. Now, what did I do knowing this information? I got into a boat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell would you do that? Well, I still try to find a workaround for everything. I ended up figuring out that you can drive this boat up to the anchor, and you can climb the fucking anchor into the cargo ship. My mind was blown doing this. So then I had to figure out how I was going to steal the cargo without using the helicopter. My first plan was to use the up and atomizer before I realized that they ripped it away from me in cold blood. Plan B was to use the sticky bombs to blow up the cargo, and when that didn't work, plan C was to use the laser gun, plan D was to use the railgun, E was the minigun, and then I went for plan F, which was just fuck it, use the helicopter. That's plan F. And finally, it's the finale, the Titan job, the last one. Let's do this. Like I said before, Oscar is the one flying, okay? I do not need to reiterate that point. So then I played this mission like normal. You shoot down the Titan, force it to make an emergency landing, and then you repair the Titan for some reason, and then you keep repairing it. I don't know why this clip is so long. Then I waste another 5 minutes loading ammunition onto the Titan, ammunition that I will not be using. So then I decided to drive to Sandy Shores Airfield, but I didn't make it, unfortunately. So I tried again, and fortunately I made it to the airfield, but then unfortunately I crashed again. But third time's the charm. So I actually made it to the nope, I guess I did not make it that time. I really thought I did. Then Jesus Christ, how many times did I fucking fail? What the hell? Okay, so this is the actual run that I made it to the Sandy Shores airfield with, hopefully. But yeah, so even though I flied the helicopter earlier, like I said, I still did not want to fly a plane. And look, I still have not flown a plane yet. So you cannot say that I have completely failed this because of the asterisk in the title, like I said. So just like the previous missions, you don't actually need to use the plane to destroy the bases. I just got into my car and started chucking grenades at them, but they fought back, ran me over, and blew me up. So I tried this again, and I was able to do it successfully. Then I had to destroy this submarine in the middle of the ocean that was shooting heat-seeking fucking missiles at me and was super relentless and the bane of my existence. And I thought, fuck, this was insane. But using a gameplay mechanic from earlier in the finale, you can actually destroy the missiles by shooting at them in the air. So that gave me an idea to use a boat from across the map. And then my plan was to just get off the boat every time a missile gun came at me and then shoot it out of the air. But this fucking jet was up my ass the entire time. I could not do a single thing. I couldn't even get the boat out of the beach. So I was giving up, and I thought maybe I need to change my plan completely. I actually got a little frustrated too. So I decided to drive the Titan on a mountain nearby the submarine so that I can use the gun on the Titan to shoot down the jet and then do the boat method. I got to the top of this mountain, and at the very peak, I lost fucking momentum and started going down backwards, and then I got fucking stuck just like earlier, and I thought, Jesus Christ, man, do not ever let me fly a plane. I had given up completely and started just swimming to the submarine for shits and giggles. And then I started to notice that I actually dodged the missiles, and I got up to the fucking submarine, and I was like, holy shit, like, I can actually do this, and I died. But I made it back here, did the same thing, dodged the missiles, and I actually fucking destroyed the submarine after a couple of days of trying this. And this was when I was like, yes, I'm actually gonna fucking beat this. So the next part is you gotta destroy the equipment on this train, and I just figure out if you destroy the fucking front of the train, the rest of it goes with it. So it was that fucking simple. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Then you gotta get into the Titan again, and you're supposed to land the Titan at the Mackenzie airfield, but like you know already by this point, I drove this Titan all the way down to the Mackenzie airfield, and this was basically like the victory lap for me. It was like the end of a fucking like, I've never ran a marathon. I was gonna compare it to a end of a marathon. I've never ran a fucking marathon. Who am I kidding? But yeah, Jesus, oh my God, I fucking Austin Powers myself. Okay, don't pay attention to what's going on your screen right now. Just look at the like and subscribe button at the very bottom of your screen. Is it at the bottom of your screen? In the middle of your screen, depending on how you're. How would you? Nobody's. Anyways, just yeah, do not pay attention to this. Yeah, it was really difficult to get around these telephone poles with the giant fucking wingspan. But I successfully did it. And yeah. And as we tie the bow on this successful challenge, I just wanted to thank everybody for 100 subscribers. I never thought I'd make it this far. And I never thought I'd spend over a month making this fucking video. Jesus Christ. Anyways, thank you for subscribing. Make sure you like and share and all that stuff. If you pass this fruit stand, by the way, it's weird. It triggers the cutscene for the finale, so you don't even have to drive it all the way to the airfield. It just counts it as done. I think the game was just as over me doing this as I was. But there you have it. Oscar Guzman Flies Again. but he doesn't actually fly. Wait, no. Wait, he actually flew. Actually, Oscar Guzman flew. I did not fly. I drove the plane. Anyways, if you have any other suggestions on what you'd like to see in GTA or any other games, feel free to comment, and I'll probably read it. Thank you, and goodbye.